Welcome to Conversations with your host, Ron Bryant, who will engage in lively and informative dialogue with politicians, leaders, visiting celebrities, and individuals making a difference in the community fabric of Central Ohio.
On this episode of Conversations, I sit down with Ellen Moss Williams, President and Chief Executive Officer of the Godman Guild. For over 117 years, Godman Guild has promoted strong families and strong communities in Columbus. Here's my conversation with Ellen at the Godman Guild corporate offices. So, Ellen, I just want to thank you for this opportunity to have this conversation. Talk about Godman Guild and its legacy in serving the greater good of Central Ohio and the community. You've been here since '94?
Yes, I've been here since 1994. The Guild was established in 1898, and it was established because a Sunday school teacher who had little kids in her Sunday school class, one day they didn't show up, and they didn't show up because they were in jail. And she said, "We've got to do something for kids. They've got to have something better to do."
The kids were in jail?
They were all in jail.
Oh, my goodness.
And so since then, we've had a passion for children, but we also want to see the community develop and grow. And so that's what we're about today.
So the Godman Guild affects the lives of its neighbors and the constituents in the Wineland Park area. Just talk a little bit more about that and cite some of those ways that occurs.
Well, we were established on the settlement house tradition, and that means that we are settled in the community that we serve. And our primary focus right now is on education and employment. And that's because back in the mid-'90s, when welfare reform was happening, we wanted to make sure that those that were getting off of welfare would be able to do so and be successful, get jobs that allowed them to take care of their families in a way that other people would like to have their families taken care of. So that is our focus today.
You have a number of points of focus, as a matter of fact. You talked about a couple of those: health and wellness, economic development. Just shine some light on those things that you do.
We took a survey here in Wineland Park, and the number one reason people cited for not being able to get a job was healthcare issues. And so in addition to that, we know that people who can't read and write find it very difficult to get a job. And if you don't have a job, you can't really take care of your family. And so in thinking about people being able to be financially self-sufficient, we said we need to make sure that they're well educated, that they're healthy, and they have the skills that they need to get and keep jobs. And then our fourth area of focus is community engagement. And you have to be engaged in your community. Civically, you need to vote. You need to know what's going on. You need to volunteer and give back. And so that really is, in a nutshell, what it is that we're doing with young people and adults.
That is wonderful. Now, a lot of folks probably know of the Godman Guild through Camp Mary Orton.
Mm-hmm.
It's been around, over 100 years or so?
Yes, it has been.
Oh, my goodness. Talk about that.
Well, back in the day, the idea was that we wanted to get young mothers and their children out of the city, make sure that they could get out and explore the flora and the fauna of the 167 acres of Camp Mary Orton. And so today, it is the site of our Summer Youth Empowerment Program. We have about 160 to 180 kids who go out, usually on a scholarship. Most of our kids only pay the $2 registration fee for 8 weeks. And if they have perfect attendance, they get that back, the $2 back.
Incentive?
Yes. But in order to keep the doors open of Camp Mary Orton, we have to take care of it. And so we've devised several ways to generate revenue, but also stay aligned with our mission out at Camp Mary Orton. So we have team building activities. We have places for companies to come and have meetings.
Yes.
We have this fabulous zip line canopy tour out there, the very first in Central Ohio, and I've actually done it.
I'm going to have to come out this summer.
Yes, you're going to have to try it. One of the most scariest things I've ever done in my life, but it was exciting.
Exhilarating.
Yes. So Camp Mary Orton is one of the jewels of Central Ohio. There is no place like it, 167 acres. When you get out there, you just can't believe you're in Columbus, Ohio.
Back in the day, we used to call it Fresh Air Camp.
Is that what it's called? Okay.
And I forget where we were up in Youngstown, but as soon as I got down here to Central Ohio, having been down here as a Boy Scout in the Boy Scout camp, I found out quick about Camp Mary Orton. So
Yes.
I know that you guys have been. So, how many community kids, again, you might have mentioned that, but how many community kids really have an opportunity to take advantage of that?
Well, we have, through our Summer Youth Empowerment Program, about 160 to 180 kids who are able to take advantage of it. We also have a fee-based camp, which is called Adventure Academy, and it's only a week at a time, but I think we have around maybe close to 250 kids who go through that camp. It is adventure-based. And adults kind of go out there to camp as well. They do adult kind of things, but we host weddings at a Camp Mary Orton.
So it's fully monetized.
Yes, it is.
Excellent.
Yes,
Excellent.
it is.
Well, we're going to take a break real quick. We'll be right back.
Since the Affordable Care Act was signed into law in 2010, 28 states plus D.C. have expanded Medicaid, and millions have gained coverage through Medicaid or CHIP. Millions of young adults have gained coverage through their parents' plan. Americans saved $9 billion because insurance companies must spend at least 80 cents of every premium dollar on health care. 9.4 million seniors and people with disabilities saved more than $15 billion on prescription drugs. Nearly $1,600 per beneficiary. Nearly 11.7 million Americans are signed up for coverage through the health insurance marketplace. The ACA has helped achieve an historic reduction in the uninsured. To date, 16.4 million uninsured people have gained health care coverage. The Affordable Care Act. 5 years of providing access to affordable, quality health coverage.
More than 1 million Americans are living with HIV. But nearly 2/3 do not get the care they need to stay healthy. And transmissions from those not getting care account for 9 in 10 new HIV infections. Diagnosis and care can improve the lives of people with HIV and reduce the likelihood of transmitting the virus to others. 100 people who don't know they have HIV transmit the virus to nearly 7 new people each year. But that rate drops rapidly as people go through care. Every year, 100 people who have HIV under control through medication infect less than 1. But today, just 30% have the virus under control, and 50,000 people become newly infected each year. Improving the health of people living with HIV today could prevent the vast majority of new infections tomorrow.
You've got a wonderful project, community initiative, the Food District.
Yes.
It's a capital campaign.
Well, there's a lot going on with and in the food district. The origin of that project was a grant from HUD to MORPC, the Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Commission, to create a food plan for Wineland Park. And after a lot of thought and planning, we realized that a food plan just for Wineland Park is not sustainable. The footprint is too small. And so we started looking at models for creating a food hub that could be a part of a larger system, which is what we're doing now. So in addition to really encouraging food and food-related businesses to come into the Wineland Park area, the near north area, which is helping to ignite economic development, bringing jobs to Wineland Park. But it's also allowing food entrepreneurs to have a place where they can come and not only build their food creations, but have a place to sell them. I think the central focus of the food district, though, will be food production, food processing, food distribution, as well as a commissary or a place where restaurant owners and also food entrepreneurs can come and cook whatever it is, prepare whatever it is that they're selling.
So for the viewer who's trying to visualize something like that, part of that model would be a North Market type establishment, as well as?
Perhaps. Primarily what we're looking at, though, is food preparation and food distribution, because the North Market is pretty close here. There might be some retail, maybe a food co-op for people who live close by, but we want to be able to extend the shelf life of fresh food. So, for instance, the Mid-Ohio Food Bank has lots of produce that it gets in on a regular basis, and sometimes it can't distribute all of it. And so rather than waste it or destroy it, then they bring it here, we process it, and extend the shelf life by maybe 3 to 4 months.
Training programs as well?
Yes, very definitely. Education and training focused on food and hospitality.
Wonderful. Okay, that's something that is up and coming, hospitality services.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, within that, you've got a building. I've seen a rendering.
Yes.
And that will help you expand because, to my understanding, you've been in this building for quite some time now and have probably outgrown it.
Yes, we have. The building was renovated and expanded back in about 2000. And we've run out of space for programs as well as for staff. And we also want to begin to work with the Wyland Park community to design a community center that they could be proud of, that would allow them to come and have a place to be fit, to get together with their neighbors, focused on community education as well. So we're excited about that.
Volunteerism, that plays an important role in Godman Guild. Talk about that.
Well, we have a variety of opportunities to volunteer. We have Camp Mary Orton, which hosts thousands of volunteers a year. We have so many jobs for people out at Camp Mary Orton, whether it's putting up a new pavilion or putting out chips on the trails out there. Here we have opportunities in our community garden to wake up the garden, put the garden to bed. And I think one of the ones that's closest to my heart are the tutors that come in and work with our adult ed students. It means so much to them.
So in closing, what are some thoughts that you can give to the community? Of course, if they want to contact you, we'll put that up on the screen.
Okay.
But, just some of the things that you can encourage community participation as far as your outreach is concerned.
Columbus is an extraordinary city. We are blessed with a lot of gifts and assets as a community. And I'm convinced that if we can work together, that we can solve a lot of the social ills that we have here in this community. And that's something that we are very interested in doing, and that is to partner strategically with other organizations so that we can realize some economies of scale around what we're trying to do here. We can't do it all.
Right.
And so people and organizations that are really interested in helping individuals to become economically self-sufficient, whether it's jobs, if you have jobs that folks can get into at an entry level, we want to talk to them because we have people who can work for them.
Excellent. I want to thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
This has been wonderful. Great conversation.
Thank you.